Welcome back on this series on supporting my child with special needs. We have established the fact that a child with special needs is a child who needs additional care. And we also established the fact that you won't be able to support your child if you have not accepted that child for who he or she is. Today, let's look at the next point. And my next point on this will be seek knowledge. Seek information. Get to research about your child's needs. I see a lot of parents fighting without knowledge. You can't fight any battle and win without knowledge. If your child has CP, go for knowledge. Go and ask. Read up. Thank God for Google. Go and check. Ask questions. So what is CP? What is autism? What is Down syndrome? And all that. Begin to look out for characteristics. Okay, so this is, this about autism. This is this about CP. This is this about learning disability. This is this about my child's, needs. You cannot fight without knowledge. You may be fighting a lost battle. I see a lot of people. I was discussing with someone just yesterday and I said, have you gone for tests to find out exactly what the challenge is? And she said, no. I don't want to go for tests so that they won't see anything. And I said, oh, for me, I would rather go for tests, find out that I have one or two things, and begin to war, begin to fight. Women, men, parents, uncles, teachers, whosoever you are, you can't fight any battle and win without knowledge. I will advise that once you accept that there is a challenge with your child, you begin to seek knowledge. When I heard about my children's, needs, I also began. That was the first time I was going to be hearing about ataxia telangiectasia. I never heard that word before. I began to research. So what is this? I read up and I began to see that, okay, so ataxia has some similarities with cerebral palsy. So my children are not children living with CP, even if ataxia telangiectasia has some similarities. Like I said, is a motor disorder, just like CP is a motor disorder. But I can differentiate between my child and a child who has CP. You can't fight and win any battle without knowledge. So the second point I will be stating categorically to you this morning is to go for knowledge. So this is the need of my child. How do I begin to fight? What does my child need to eat? What does my child has to avoid? What do I need to avoid giving my child? We need to go for knowledge. When I also found out that my children have ataxia, I began to research. So where is it coming from? They said it is genetic. We went home, sat. Who has this? We began to do a lot of research. We began to seek for information. So how do we begin to help our children? We know things to stay off from. So for my children, there are things I know I can't give them. There are things I know, fruits and vegetables is a must for them. Why? Because I researched. Because I went for knowledge. Because I began to ask information. So if your child has special needs, the second thing you should do is to begin to seek for knowledge. Ask questions. Go to the doctors. Let me give you one information here now. Anytime I go to the hospital with my sons, I used to be the one teaching or enlightening the doctors on my children's situation or conditions. This is because I have acquired so much knowledge on their needs. I can tell you what this is. And then, secondly, like I said, you can't fight and win a battle without knowledge. I now know how to channel my prayers for those of us who are feed bees, who think, I can't. But I tell people, you better accept it, go for knowledge, and begin to fight with knowledge. So now I can boldly go on the altar of prayer and say, God, this, and this will not happen to my son. So let me share something. One of the things we saw on our research about ataxia is that the children who have ataxia don't live above 18 years. Oh yes, you heard me right. You can go and do your findings. You can go and do your research. But then if they do, they will have issues with heart problems. they will have a lot of issues with heart issues, heart-related issues and diseases. But that's not my case. My second son, who has ataxia, Daniel, is 19, already going to be 20. He doesn't have one issue with heart. Another information we got was that, they are prone to cancer. I do my children's cancer check every year. And good news, they don't have. Why? I went for knowledge and I began to fight. When I see parents say a lot of things, I wonder where they're getting it from. I will rather seek for knowledge, get knowledge on that, and I will begin to war. You don't war without knowledge. You war with knowledge. So the second point I want us to take home today is what? Seek knowledge on your child need. If it is CP, seek knowledge on CP. If it is autism, seek knowledge on autism. If it is Down syndrome, seek knowledge on Down syndrome. I hope this helps. See you on my next. Don't forget to like, share, and comment.